This, from my perspective, there are three things. We must be truthful, honest, and factual with ourselves. How can we become resilient to a changing world if we are not honest with ourselves about the change? So I think that's true with climate change. It's true with the economy. It's true with conflict. And the roots of all of these things, how can we embrace them in a healthy way unless we are first honest with ourselves about the world that we have in a neutral language? The science is not using New Age. It's not using religion. It's not using spirituality.
We're
science
talking quantum physics, or we're talking, how do you name the science?
Any science, geology, chemistry, biology, physics. I know you talk to Joe Dispenza. He talks about brain chemistry. I do as well. Bruce Lipton talks about biology. I have a very strong background in life sciences. I do as well. Quantum physics is a big part of this as well, because the quantum physics is now telling us everything is connected. That is no longer a question in the scientific world. There is no question as to whether or not we are connected. That is accepted. The question now is, how deep does that connection go? How much influence do we really have? Is that connection, is it a significant enough connection that we can use it in our lives? And the answer is yes. 1991, there was discovery of about 40,000 specialized cells in the human heart that are like brain cells, but they're not in the brain, in the head. They're in our hearts. They're called sensory neurites. They think independently of the brain and the head. They feel independently of the brain and the head. They remember independently of the brain and the head. They work very, very differently. And so the reason this is important, we all know how to think with our head. Our ancestors said there's a way to think with our hearts, and this is where prayer and some forms of meditation come in. So the cells in our brain can be used independently. The cells in our heart can be used independently. However, when you combine them, when you marry the heart and the brain, two organs, into a single potent neural network, this is where the power of the ancient mystics becomes available to us in our lives, because it allows our nervous system to work in a way that allows extraordinary things in our lives. Deep intuition on demand. How do you know when something is right or wrong for you? Everybody you ask, if you have a healthcare decision that you have to make in your life, everybody you ask is going to give you a different opinion. You feel like you're pulled in a million directions. How do you know what's right for you? You go in to this little, it's called the little brain in the heart, and you ask, and you know what is right for you in that moment. When we connect the heart and the brain, it is the trigger for the anti-aging hormones that everyone already has in their bodies. It's the trigger for powerful immune system. It is a trigger to access the subconscious to heal unhealthy patterns. It is the trigger for deep states of intuition. And in addition to all of that, the connection, the harmonizing of the heart and the brain together, it tunes our nervous system for greater resilience in a time of extremes. When the world is changing, we're bombarded with so much information so fast, and we have to make so many decisions. Our nervous systems have to be trained to do that. And when we marry the heart and the brain together, we are literally wired to thrive in this time of extremes. To do so, we must tune our bodies to the new frequencies that are there. And one of the ways of doing this, our ancestors preserved for us. If you go into the monasteries of Tibet or Egypt or Bolivia or Peru, all of which I've spent time with and studied these people, or the indigenous peoples of the Aboriginals of Australia, Maasai in Africa, the Kogi in South America, the indigenous people here throughout North America, the desert Southwest, they're all very different from one another. The common thread that brings them all together is they all say that we must go back to embracing the wisdom of our heart and the brain and the heart working together so that we can tune our bodies for new perceptions and to deal with the change in a healthy way. So this is the thing. What we're doing is we are learning to become a new human, to fully embrace the power within the human body to thrive in the new world. This is a new normal.